wholehearted. Welcome to Hanging with Hang. So today video I am going to share with you how to let go of anger. Now this video is perfect for those of you who, when you get to certain situation, somebody, especially your loved one, pick a wound or trigger that make you react in the way that you don't like. It brings so much frustration, so much anger, sometimes rage, and you start to do things, say things that hurt yourself and hurt people around you, and later on you regret. So basically, it's not really do anybody any good. And a lot of time is these anger is suppressed over the years, and it tend to happen to those of us who tend to stuff our feeling down and not fully express it. So it's come out at the time that not ideal, and how it come out is not ideal. So my hope is with this video is to support you to handle this anger with grace, so then you can be free from this energy that is really take a hold of you. You know, I used to be that person. I used to do some crazy stuff, punch wall, do stupid stuff, drive stuff, breaking stuff, say things that hurt people. And it's really damaging a lot of relationship and also damaging the relationship with myself, because, you know, it's just not a good feeling. So so these are some keys that I find is helpful. Is first understanding that anger is a form, it's one of the human emotion, it's a form of protections. Every feeling that you ever experience is always serve a purpose. Now, when you're in a good place, you're grounded, it's easy for us to judge, like, why do I get angry? Angry is bad. Being sad is bad, and guilty is bad. In this case, particularly raging is bad. Yes, on the surface look bad, but when you really look at the underlying of it, and this is my own experience, and with the experience with a lot of working with clients over the years, is there's usually fundamental truth emotionally, not mean truth, is that a lot of time we have anger as a form of protections of the deep hurt that we feel. Anger is make you feel powerful, because in to some situation anger serves its purpose, but too much of it is not really helping, right? Anger protects you. It makes you feel powerful, and to some extent, for a lot of people that I work with, is it make you feel right, and it gives you justice, depending on the situation is. So that's something that you may consider dive deeper in your own emotion and why it's there in the first place. And then almost all the time, anger is a protection for what actually happened, of how your heart is being really hurt and sad and heartbroken. So understanding that, maybe have some compassion and some grace to your anger, and let go of some of the judgment that you may have in your anger, because by doing that you can allow space for the healing to happen for you. Now, how do we heal the anger? Is to really connect to the underneath, the underlying why you're angry in the first place. And like I said, a lot of time anger is a form of blocking the vulnerability, because vulnerability usually feel vulnerable and weak, right? And that is the space of hurt. So this is where you can sit with yourself. I would suggest to work with somebody, some professional who is more skillful, to hold that space for you and really dive deeper into what was the scar that broke your heart. What was the scar that hurt you? What was the scar that it hurt so much that your system couldn't handle at that time? So it felt the need to create the anger as the only way to deal with the situation. And because that's the way that you've been for such a long time. So now anyone that come in your life, and mostly the loved one, pushing on that wound that may happen a long time ago with your parent, with your family, brother and sister, that will bring that rage out, because you could not fully process what happened, whatever that was. So heal the deep hurt. And one of the I found the most effective way to deal with anger is you gotta let that energy be released and out. So instead of, and do it in a way that doesn't hurt you or people around you. So instead of punching the wall, maybe punching a pillow. In some form, that energy you need to let out. Instead of saying like all these crazy thing of hurting your loved one, you may be driving a car and just scream it out, or be in a space in nature and let nature hold you space and let it out physically. Or you can go on a run and run it out. You can go, do the things that is allow you to physically release. You can get a massage, depend on if you are an aggressive or more passive when it comes to this energy. But the bottom line is you want to let it out. And what's going to happen is, let's say that you punching the pillow, you're so angry, you let it out, and without judging it, Because a lot of time being a grounded, centered, intelligent, wholehearted person, you're like, I shouldn't be angry about this thing. It's so minimal. I should. Who cares? Yes, I know you care. But in the context is what you feel, my friend, is what you feel. Stop judging yourself and let yourself feel ridiculous. Let yourself feel stupid. Let yourself feel foolish. Let it out. Because what happened is once you let that anger energy out, it's going to shift to like a very vulnerable energy. And you may break down and let yourself break down. And when that breakdown moves through, it's painful. I get it. It's not fun to move through it, but I promise you this: if you can let yourself move through it, you're gonna come out feeling so much lighter, so much better, and so much more spacious that you can fill that space of anger perhaps with excitement energy, of inspiration energy. You can feel that sadness instead of sadness with compassion energy. You're gonna feel different. So that's how I would suggest you to let go of anger. And of course, there's so many different ways you can do it. You can do EFT for it. You can talk to a therapist. There are 1,000 of ways. But the bottom line is, whatever the method, the strategy that you use authentically in the moment, give yourself a parameter. Do it in a way that doesn't hurt you or hurt people around you. And let yourself be humans and feel the anger for what it is, and have some compassion of yourself that this anger is a protection of something. So instead of judging it, beating yourself up for having anger, have compassion, have some understanding, and then work with it to shift in a way that you can show up wholeheartedly as your whole self, not the fragmentation part of yourself. Anger here, sat there, that's just all of you, my friend. Love all of it. Okay? With that, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for hanging with me, literally. I'm going to wrap it up by saying that I'm going to send you a lot of love to you and your anger. I'm sending you love from my heart to yours, and from Hawaii to wherever you are in the world. Be patient, be gracious with yourself. Until the next moments, subscribe, notify, do whatever that your heart desire with this video with the intent to reach as many heart and help as many people as possible. Okay, have a peaceful week. Love ya.